Hey there folks, and welcome to this video. This is General Notes to talk about looking ahead, looking back, and something that's on my mind. You can find this week's one timestamp down below. And let's start off the week ahead. WRC, Rally Finland, Gravel Grand Prix is back. I'm looking forward to that. I don't think we've got any Extreme E, but I could well be wrong. I know the Sardinia one's coming up soon. But apart from that, maybe some recap on F1 stuff, maybe covering some more general motorsport news as well. There's always a bit of that to cover. And maybe something sim racing, because that could be a lot of fun. Looking back, thanks for your support over the... I always say this. Especially like the coverage of the Russian Grand Prix. Lewis's 100th win. Which, well, let's go on to talk about that. That's what's on my mind. And in particular, comparisons to the great Michael Schumacher. Because, well, Lewis Hamilton, the legend of the sport that is the first to be a Centurion in poles and wins in F1. Also, joined record world champions with Michael Schumacher as well. Yeah, he got his 100th race win yesterday, Russian Grand Prix. And, as always, there are a lot of people who want to kind of diminish the importance of that. And that's always the case. I mean, they do the same thing for Schumacher wherever they want, but let's put into perspective a lot of things when it comes to Hamilton and Schumacher, because there are lots of places where you can find things in common and find things that are different. Like, everyone talks about, like, the more races, for example. Oh, Lewis has more races a season to win. In terms of starts, when he got to his record, when he set the record with Schumacher, when he got that last season, that was, what, 20 starts ago? Lewis has just done start 281. He would have done 261, which meant that Schumacher had a better hit rate, like a better percentage win rate. And in addition to that, no, 281st start now. Like, Schumacher did 300 odd, but he was well into his Mercedes career by that amount of starts. So if you want to talk about it through that kind of rate, then it's not a useful option to look through. I mean, I'd argue that it's not anyways, but just putting this case out here. And in addition to that, there are several other things that you could look at. One of them that's quite cool is looking at wins in consecutive seasons. Schumacher won 1 in 92, 1 in 93, and then won several in every other season up to 06, with the exception of 05, where he only won one as well. But that was, 15 consecutive seasons he won races in. And, well, same for Lewis. 15 consecutive seasons he's won F1 races in. The only difference is, for Lewis, that's every season of his career. Granted, in some of those seasons he only won a race. And when I say some, that's one season. That's 2013, he won the Hungarian Grand Prix. But there's something about that in terms of consistency. Because Schumacher did, 15 consecutive seasons of race wins in which he picked up 7 titles. In addition to that, he got second place twice. In 06 and 98. He got third place in 05, 96 and 92. Fourth in 93. Fifth in 99. The lowest he had was the disqualification in 97, which would have been, second or third. I think second. Lewis, in comparison, the worst he's finished in the championship was 5th in 09 and 2011. Apart from that, outside of his 7 titles, he's been runner-up twice, and then the other 3 times were 4th. 2010, 2012 and 2013. But remember, in 2010 he was in the title battle going into the finale. 2007 he only lost by a point. 2016 wasn't much different either. And that's the thing. Like, if you want to look at those kinds of stats, it was brilliant, the stuff that he did. He's done a fantastic job. He continues to do a fantastic job. And it's one of the things I said in yesterday's video. Even if he doesn't win the title this year and Verstappen wins the title, he can be proud of the records that he's set and the benchmarks that he's got to on the track and off of it. And again, that's another place where Lewis and Schumacher will be remembered as the greats in Formula 1. Perhaps Lewis building on and going further than what Michael did, because Michael's reputation was within the sport and within motorsport more generally. Him always like knowing all the mechanics' names and their families' names and their birthdays. He helped mould Ferrari around him, well, the trifecta of himself, Brawn, and Tot. That hasn't been necessarily the same with Merc. I mean, sure, you have Toto who's been part of the framework. You've got all kinds of different names that you could just go, yeah. All of these people do brilliant work for him, or for the team, and by extension, Lewis and Valtteri and Nico and George next season. But there's a bit of a difference between them both, because Lewis takes it further off the track, like his activism, which is spectacular. He's done so many amazing things in terms of political activism. And in addition to that, he is very self-aware, which you don't really find in Formula 1. And part of that is because he had to watch himself on the way up, because of the way the world is. And the racist abuse that he endured all the way up the ladder still does today. But in terms of campaigns for things like diversity and inclusion and anti-racism, he's a brilliant champion of it. And I think I want to end it off with talk about one other driver, Sebastian Vettel. Four-time world champion on 53 wins. And adored Schumacher when he was growing up. I had the pleasure to race against him, and there's been a similar kind of role model to Mick that Michael was to Seb. And it tells you something about how much respect and friendship there is between Lewis and Seb. It's brilliant. Lewis is inspirational. There's a reason why so many people call him the greatest of all time. It's not just the statistics. He's taken F1 to the next level. He was F1's first foray into the modern world of celebrity. Not like your James Hunt or your Ayrton Senna's. International, global celebrity. United States, United Kingdom, and around the world. Social media. That's Lewis Hamilton. The next grade's going to have to build on that. And on that note, thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you around. Bye for now.